welcome back to my channel. So today's tutorial we are going to learn how to sew this beautiful classic Bubu gown with shoulder pleats and exaggerated puff sleeves you see on the thumbnail. And I'm using 3 yards of fabric. If you're in the bigger side, you can use 4 yards. So let's get right into the video. So I folded my fabric into 4. It's 3 yards. So this is the center front and the center back on the fold. And this is the shoulder line. It's not going to have shoulder slant. This is the opening part. This is for the side. So I'm taking 4 inches for the neck width for the back, and then 1 inch for the depth. And for the front, 4 inches for the neck width, and then 4 inches for the neck depth. So from the center front to the sleeve length is 28 inches. So I'm at 28 inches here. And then on that 28 inches mark, I'm coming down 18 inches for the sleeve opening. From the shoulder to the hip line is 26 inches. I draw a straight line. So for the full length, I'm marking 57 inches plus 2 inches for sewing allowance. That's for the hemming allowance. So it's 59. So I'm marking 59 across and draw a straight line. So this is the full length of the gown. So let's go to the hip line. So on the hip line, I'll be dividing my hip to 4. So my hip is 44 divided by 4 is 11 inches. So I'll be adding 11 inches, and I'm adding 5 inches for ease. You can add more allowance if you want, but I'm adding 5 inches because the down part of this gown is going to be like a pencil shape. So on the hem line, I'll mark my hip divided by 4, which is 11 inches, plus 2.5 inches for ease. Remember, on the hip line, I added 5 inches to cut off my hip measurement. So on the hem line, I added 2.5 inches to cut off my hip measurement. So I'm going to connect from the hip line to the hem line. So this is it. So the next thing to do is to connect my sleeve to meet the hip line. Can you see that? It's like a form of a pencil shape Bubu gown. So on this edge, it's not meant to be pointed. I'm going to curve it inside. You see? Now let me show you the full view from the shoulder all the way to the hemline. You see how beautiful it looks? So the next thing to do is to cut it out. What I'll do first is to cut the back neckline, because the front is going to have a slit. The front is going to have a slit. So I'll be cutting the back part first, then I will refold it to cut the front neckline. So just stay tuned. So this is how it looks after cutting it. You see how beautiful it comes out? So beautiful. So the next thing to do is to notch the shoulder like so, and then notch the center front and then the center back. Next, I will want to show you guys how I folded the fabric. I forgot to show you how I folded it. So I'm using this paper for an illustration. So this is material, as you can see, is by length 60 inches. So I folded it into two, meaning I folded the 3 yards into two. That is 1.5 on this side and then 1.5 on the other side. So the next thing I did was to fold it on the folded part like so. You take it and fold it into two. So this is it. This folded part is the center front and the center back as it is here. And then this is the shoulder length. It doesn't have shoulder slant, no slit at the shoulder. This is it. And this is the side opening. And this is the length. So next thing I'm going to do is to open it and cut the front neckline. So guys, this is how it looks. So I'm going to cut out the front neckline, but before I do that, I have to mark 1 inch from the neck all the way down for the slit. So let me push it up a bit. So I mark 1 inch all the way to the hemline and then connect it with a straight line. I pin it down because the fabric is moving a lot. So guys, this is how it looks after marking the slit line. This 1 inch is for the slit. So the next thing I'm going to do is to cut the front neckline. So I'm cutting out the front neckline. So this is how it looks. So what I'm going to do now is to slit open the center front. This is the center front, is to slit it open. So I'll slit it from the down. So I cut a piece of the fabric to cut the facing for the front and the back, and I'm cutting it together. So you see, I put it on fold. I put the fabric on fold like so. So let me explain something to you about the neckline. You know, we cut the front and the back neckline together, and then I mark 1 inch for the slit in front. So why I mark 1 inch? Because this bubu is not having shoulder slant, and by so doing, the neckline rests perfectly on your body. So I will be placing the folded fabric under the neckline like so. Like this. So I'm going to pin it so that I'll get it perfectly. I've cut out the facing. So you can see that on the front I open it, I slit it open. So I'm going to do the same thing to the facing down. So now I'm going to take 3 inches all round for the facing. So this is it. I mark 3 inches for the width of the facing. So I'm going to cut it out. To make your work very neat, I'll stitch this 1 inch that I marked for the slit in front. So I will stitch the 1 inch for the slit in the center front of the facing. So let me open it for you to see how the facing look like. This is it. You see how the facing look like? Yes. So the next thing is to open the main bodice for you to see how the neckline look like. So let me open it for you to see how it look. So this is how the neckline look, and this is the opening. So what we are going to do next is to start sewing. So I will join the front and then put the facing. I also join the facing. I'll join the 1 inch I marked. The 1 inch I mark, I will join this part, and then I'll go to the main bodice. You have to join all before pleating the shoulder so that we can get it accurate. So what I'm going to do is to have the slit length in front. So to do that, I will place my tape on the shoulder line. That's where I notched to where I want the slit to start. So from the shoulder line, I want the slit to start from 39 inches. So from the shoulder to 39 inches, this is where the slit will start from. This is where the opening will be. So I will start sewing from the neckline all the way to where the slit will start from. Then I will stitch the facing, and I'll come and show you how to fix it on the neck. We have to stitch the facing on the neck before pleating the shoulder. So let me just do that and come back and show you. So this is the front slit. I stitch it from the neckline up to where the slit ends here. From the shoulder to where the slit ends, I made it 39 inches. So I went ahead and tacked the opening. As you can see, I just tack it with my hand. After ironing it, I will lose it. So that's the front opening. This is the opening. So what I will do is to open it and iron it with steam to the neckline to lay flat like this. And I went ahead and fold the edge to give it a neat look, because I have a serger but I don't have enough time to thread it to do the knitting inside. So I decided to fold the edge of the slit all the way to the bottom. So what I did next was to stitch the facing to the bodice. As you can see, this is the facing. I stitch it already. So the next thing I'll do is to notch it. By notching it, it will make the neckline relax well. So I'll notch it all around. After notching it, I'll take it to my machine and stitch it, give it a top stitch on the facing, not on the bodice, on the facing. I'll top stitch it. So as you can see, I face the good side of the facing to the good side of the bodice. So I'm going to notch it now, and then take it to my machine, stitch it, and come back and show you how neat it looks before teaching you how to pleat the shoulder. So this is how neat the neck look, and then the slit in front, I iron it neatly. This is how it looks. So the opening is the down part that I'll be losing the tacking thread. So the next thing we are going to do is to mark the pleat on the shoulder. Okay, I want to show you something. This is how the neckline look like. You can see how I fold the edges neatly. You can see that. You see how neatly the neckline look. And you can use hemming gun to hem all the edges to iron it to lay flat. And also you can use hemming gun for the front opening like so. You just iron it inside you place it inside and iron on top. I show that here will lay flat, but I'm not going to do that now because it will take much time. So let's go straight into the pleats, the pleating of the shoulder. So for the shoulder pleat, this is the shoulder line. You can see the crisscross line. You can see it. So pay attention here. From the neckline on the shoulder, I'll be marking 4 inches like so. And then you determine the height of the pleat. For the pleats, I want the height of the pleat to be about 3 inches. So I'm marking 6 inches here on the line. You can see the line. So from the neck line, I marked 4 inches, and from here, from the 4 inches, I marked 6 inches. So I'll find the center of the 6 inches. That is 3 inches for the pleat. This is it. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. On this other side, I repeated the same thing. From the neckline, I marked 4 inches. 4 inches. And on this 4 inches, I went ahead and marked 6 inches. That's for the height of the pleat. And I find the midpoint of this 6 inches, that's 3 inches. So the next thing to do is for me to take this 3 inches to fold it like this. Then I'm going to pin it. I'm going to pin the height of the pleat, which is 3 inches. So I mark 3 inches here. I'm going to pin it. So I'm going to repeat the same thing on this side. I hold the center of the 6 inches, which is 3 inches. Then I pin it down. Hope you can see what I'm doing. You see how beautiful the pleats look? So I'm going to arrange it well. I'll come and show you how I'm going to stitch it. So this is the pleat, as you can see. So what I did was, the length I wanted for the pleat is 6 inches. So on the shoulder line, I went in 3 inches on each side. So making 6 inches. That's the line. This is the pleat. You can see the pleat. So I did the same thing on the other side for the pleat. So I'm going to sew it. I'm going to sew it from here to the end here, and I'm going to do the same thing to the other one. So I went ahead and ironed the hemming gun all around the neckline, and I'm going to do the same thing to the front slit. This is the front slit. So I'll iron hemming gun inside so that it can relax neatly. I don't want to stitch on it. So this is it. This is our pleat. Let me bring it so that you can see it. This is it. So let me go ahead and stitch it. So this is how the pleat look like. So we're done with the pleat. So the next thing to do, I'll fold 2 inches for the elastic casing for the sleeves. So I'll fold 2 inches, 1 inch in and 1 inch out, 2 inches on both sides for the sleeves, and then I will insert my elastic. So after stitching on the both sleeves for the elastic casing, I have 2 elastic here, which I cut 11 inches for each. because you measure where you want the sleeve to end, then you cut your elastic accordingly. And then I'll use this safety pin to insert the elastic inside. After finishing fixing the elastic, I will come and show you the next thing to do. So this is the sleeves. You see how I put the elastic, and this is how it looks. So the next thing I'm going to do is to fold my dress, and then 1 inch to join the sides, and I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. And after joining it, you make sure that where the curve is, you notch it so that when you iron it, it will lay flat. And after, I'll go to the down part and hem the whole down with the 2 inches allowance I left for the hemming. And I've already ironed the hemming gum on the opening side of the dress. So let me go and do it, finish it up, come and show you how it looks. If you find this tutorial helpful, please hit on the like button and share my videos and comment down below. Never miss out on my next video. Thank you for watching, and see you in my next video. Bye.